My name's Pete Karchi, and I am a Senior Outbound Product Manager with ServiceNow. And today I'm going to talk to you about our data loss prevention incident response product for SecOps. Organizations struggle to keep up with data loss prevention incidents that they must manually manage and rectify. Disparate products across an organization's infrastructure make managing these incidents difficult to track in a timely fashion and can be even more frustrating for end users and their managers. Data loss prevention incident response, otherwise known as DLPIR, is part of ServiceNow security operations, which gives your organization the power to integrate with data loss prevention products to import incidents from multiple sources, including endpoint, network, email, and cloud, into a single platform. Then, using a remediation workflow, we can automatically assign incidents to end users, managers, and DLP analyst team members with automated incident assignment and escalation, all using intuitive, easy-to-use workspaces designed specifically to make managing and reporting this work easy. First, by enabling the API integration with third-party solutions like Semantic DLP or Microsoft Purview, ServiceNow can import incidents for endpoint, network, cloud, and email into the platform, and then invoke DLP assignment remediation workflows involving end users or employees, managers, and analysts. DLP incident response also allows administrators the ability to define and filter which DLP incidents will be imported into the ServiceNow instance based upon the requirements of the organization. DLP administrators can also configure email templates for coaching and communication with end users and provide comprehensive reporting on incident trends. They can also change what data is visible to end users in their DLP incidents, so exposure to sensitive data can be controlled and limited where needed, and also to the appropriate scope. And when it's needed, incidents can be escalated up the chain of command. DLP administrators can define the escalation criteria for different types of incidents, such as by criticality or by the amount of time passed without the DLP incident being actioned by the end user. Furthermore, analysts can also log into their own workspace to view the state of DLP across their enterprise and respond to the different incidents directly when needed. Finally, DLP incident response reduces the burden on the DLP analyst by essentially many DLP incidents being generated due to error on end user part. Now, those incidents can be assigned directly to the end users, and email templates can be used either as a weekly digest or whenever the incidents are discovered with why the incident was generated and how to resolve it. Analysts can also attach these assessments to be answered by end users, so the analyst has a more granular and knowledgeable view of why the end user took the actions that they did, and to rectify those actions that need to be accepted by organizational policies. Let's start with the DLP analyst workspace first, and then we can see what the DLP end user workspace looks like afterwards. The DLP analyst's workspace is designed to give the people responsible for managing incidents a holistic view of data loss incidents in their environment. It shows DLP analysts a wealth of information, including by open incidents by severity, top DLP offenders, open incidents by DLP policy, scan source, and more. We can even drill into these reports to see additional details. For example, let's look at critical open incidents. This filtered list shows us information about all the critical open incidents, including the policy name, state, severity, and more. Let's look at one of the incidents in specific. This shows the specific details about the incident, including the scan source and type, what triggered it, and who it's assigned to. This particular incident was assigned to the end user, Danny Watson, based on assignment rules the DLP admin had set up. Let's go take a look at those assignment rules now. Here you can see the assignment rules for end users that the DLP administrator has set up. The administrator has decided that low severity DLP incidents should go directly to the end users for action, as they're easier to answer and typically have a high rate of valid use, but we don't want to make that assumption for every incident, so the administrator uses these automated assignment rules to assign low severity incidents immediately to the end user to action. Conditions allow your organization to build out the assessment rules per the policies that your organization has set by creating conditions to direct DLP incidents to go to the right parties, be it your end user, managers, or even a user group. The administrator might also want to limit what the end user can see about these files, as they've decided it's not necessary for the end user to have all those details. Let's look at those field restrictions. Administrators know that the data is captured by third-party DLP software is much more holistic and comprehensive than an end user typically needs to see. That data is vital for their analysts to be able to make informed decisions and ensure that DLP policies are being followed, but would make things far more complicated for end users who may not interact with their DLP workspace daily. Here's the field restrictions that have been set up for this environment. We can see that the administrator has decided to limit these fields to be visible to end users specifically. So these end users can only see these fields when they reply to a DLP incident. But sometimes we need more information from our end users, and that's where assessments can be helpful. Assessments are completely optional, but if your organization chooses to use them, they can be a powerful tool to get insights from your end users on why they choose to send data out of your controlled environments, as well as ensuring that they are following organizational policies when it comes to acceptable reasons for data being sent outside. Assessments can be built and configured using our assessment builder, and your organization can tailor them however they see fit. Be a general assessment that you might always want an end user to reply to as part of the incident process, or if needed, specialized assessments that are only relevant to specific incidents, such as being based upon the criticality of a DLP incident. These are powerful tools that can help your organizational needs for audits and other policies that your organization wants more granular detail on. We'll want to see how these assessments work later on, so we're going to assign an assessment to Danny Watson here so we can see what it looks like from his end later on. Let's make sure we're not letting anything else slip through the cracks as an administrator and look at response due dates next. DLP administrators and managers of end users want to make sure that if there are any DLP incidents that are pending action by end users, that they don't get forgotten in the mix of myriad of daily activities that end users have. Here we see a rule that will escalate DLP incidents that aren't actioned within 7 days of the end user being notified. Rules like these ensure that if there are delays in assigned tasks to end users, that managers, via this tool and its ability to define rules around dates and conditions, as you can see here, make sure that end users don't ignore DLP incidents that could harm the organization. But enough of the administrative side of things. Let's see what the end user experience is like in DLP. We're now logged in as the end user, Danny Watson. As Danny, we can see we have a few important details when I log into the end user workspace. We have a list of all the incidents that are due in the next 7 days, what are critical incidents, and also what pending assessments or newest incidents I have this week. In these tabs, we have a lot of very useful information, things like policy name and each incident, the contextual-based severity assigned to them, and the scan source. They can also show a file location if applicable. Let's look at the same DLP incident that we saw as the analyst. Note that the end user view is different from the analyst view because the DLP administrator set up field restrictions for end users, limiting the amount of content that they can see. Remember, giving an end user all the information that an analyst has access to about a DLP incident isn't necessarily needed, and curating the information space can help end users reply quicker with more speed and accuracy. We can add attachments by clicking this attachment button. So in this case, maybe Danny had an exception from management, and he could attach that email here. We also spoke about the need for analysts to gather more information from end users by using assessments. We can see here that an assessment has been attached earlier that we did as the administrator to this incident. These assessments are completely customizable. You can do it by choice, by date or list or attachment, and a bevy of other options that are available. When these are set up, these assessments allow organizations to tailor them, meeting auditing requirements that might be placed upon them by internal or external bodies with oversight. Lastly, there's these quick response buttons that we see up here. These quick response buttons are customized by the DLP administrator, and Danny could tell the DLP analyst that the incident was a false positive or a wrong owner as seen here. Once the proper selection is made, we can enter detailed notes, and that submission will be recorded by the system and replied to back to the analyst. This was a brief overview of data loss prevention incident response for ServiceNow security operations. You can see how DLP-IR can help optimize and speed up your response to data loss incidents by improving employee response and knowledge, managing escalated events, tracking down repeat offenders, and controlling restricted data and more.